Kona can reclaim the name Gold Coast it was given due to the yellow tanks. Also, keep your eyes open for the long-nosed butterfly fish. It's got a square yellow body, a long white nose, and a black triangle around its eye. The long-nosed butterfly fish has the honor of having the longest name for a fish in the Hawaiian language. Now, if you're thinking Homo Homo Nuku Nuku Apu A'a, you'd be wrong. That is a Picasso triggerfish. The long-nosed butterfly fish actually has 2 more letters in its name, topping off at 11 syllables, 23 letters, and it is the La Willy Willy Nuku 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 Oi Oi. And there's actually a variant of this fish here on the west side of the Big Island. It only happens here. Scientists don't know why. They'll take this fish from the Kona side of the Big Island, throw them into the waters around Maui, and then they lose their black color and they'll revert back to the yellow and black. But when they're black here, their name extends by 4 syllables, and they're the La Willy Willy Nuku Nuku Oi Oi Ele Ele. So there you go.
Wow.
The longest name for a fish in the Hawaiian language. But there's about 25 different species of butterfly fish out here in the reef. Look around. If you see one, look around for its mate. It won't be far behind. They're also known as the Romeo and Juliets of the sea for this reason. They pair bond very early in life. They stay with the same mate their entire lives. And when one of them dies, the other one will actually stop eating and die soon after. Aww. I haven't decided if that's extremely romantic or just plain stupid. I'll leave that up to you.
Stingray's coming down. Yeah.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, look very closely at the starboard side. We have a spotted eagle ray. It's enemy forward. I don't think the eagle ray can hear me, so I don't know why I'm whispering. But it's right there. It is. A spotted eagle ray. Starboard, port side. Look over the shoulder, because I don't think we're going to be able to chase it down and get it on the port side. Though I think our pilot might try. It's just hanging out there. Absolutely gorgeous. That is a spotted eagle ray. So you never know what we'll see out here. Oh, and yeah, you definitely want to look up and out from time to time. That is where you will find the larger marine life. And you have to remember, there are 70 feet of water over our heads right now, and only about 10 feet below us. So the larger marine life, chances are they're going to be above us versus at eye level.
Shipwreck. Oh yeah.
And folks, here we are at our first sunken vessel of this dive. And it's going to be on the starboard side first, but port side, don't you worry. Once we make our first pass, we're going to turn the sub around and pass it on the port side. She is known as the Predator. As you can see, it serves as a very nice artificial reef. Lots of fish make this Predator their home.
Yeah, he didn't make it.
Now the Predator's been down here for about 16 years or so. There was a large tropical storm. The waves came crashing in over the gunnels of this vessel. But it was a failed bilge pump that was the ultimate demise of the Predator. The bilge pump could not keep up with the water that was spilling over. Filled up like a big shoebox and came crashing down. It is a World War II style amphibious landing craft, the kind that you might have seen in the opening scenes of Saving Private Ryan as the Allied forces are storming the beaches of Normandy. And you can see that bow door, it's wide open right now. was purchased as a salvage vessel, and it's a little bit ironic that a salvage vessel became unsalvageable. But you can see out here in these deeper waters, we're at 77 feet. There's probably a good 20 feet beneath us right now. So that makes a total of about 90 to 95 feet of water. There's very little coral out here. And the predator does act as a very nice artificial reef. Coral only survives down to about 90 feet or so. And that's because of the algae that grows on it. That algae also provides the coral with some essential nutrients. And algae is a plant, so algae needs sunlight to survive. And that essential sunlight only reaches to about 85 to 90 feet or so. But what you do see more exposed are the ancient lava flows from Mount Hualalai. And that coral definitely needs something hard and stony to grow on. It will not grow on loose sand or free floating in the water. And here comes the predator for the port side.
He's like down.
Just forward or aft of the skeleton there. It's a dark fish. It has, you can barely see it's got 4 or 5 gold bars on the backside of its body. And its tail is actually a very deep purple or violet. And those are chocolate-dipped damselfish off the stern of the predator. About the size of a $50. It's got a white, pointy tail. Kind of looks like someone grabbed them by the tail and dipped them in chocolate. In this area, we will have the opportunity, hopefully, to spy some bullethead parrotfish. If you look at your fish cards on the side of the moray eels in the lower right-hand corner, in the upper left-hand corner, there's a bright blue, green, yellow fish called the bullethead parrotfish. Oh, there's one out there on the port side. That bright turquoise blue and yellow. They're called parrotfish, not because of their bright colors, but because their teeth are fused together in what looks like a parrot's beak. This fish actually feeds on the coral itself. It'll break off a big chunk of the coral, grind it down, swallow it, extract out all the organic material in its stomach, and out comes the back end, a 4-letter word that starts with S. That's right, sand. 60 to 70% of all the white sand on and around the island came through a parrotfish. Now the Hawaiians call this fish uhu palupaluka, and this translates into fish with the loose vowels. So all that wonderful sand out there is actually uhu poo-poo. Something to consider next time you're strolling up and down Hapuna Beach and swish that sand through your toes. But that is how you get white sand on a black volcanic island. The hard stony part of the coral, which is actually the housing for the coral animal, is bleach white on its own, composed of primarily calcium carbonate. It's the algae that grow on the coral that give the coral its different colors. So without the coral here, the coral reef, there would be no white sand on this island. Keep your eyes open for the silver dollar damselfish. It's a round fish. It's got a white body, black trim, black face and tail. Kind of looks like an Oreo cookie opened up. And endemic species here in the Hawaiian Islands. Which means that they're found here and absolutely nowhere else in the world. And the Hawaiian Islands have the highest percentage of endemic fish of any location. And this is due to the fact that the Hawaiian Islands are the most remote landmass on Earth. The next major landmass, or continental landmass, the closest one is over 2,400 miles away, which actually happens to be North America. So ladies and gentlemen, if you come on vacation, you get away from it all, you have arrived. And here's a quick little statistic that the Hawaiian Tourism Board probably doesn't want you to know. If all planes and ships were severed from the island, the food would only last about 6 or 7 days. That number used to be about 2 to 3 days, but then Costco and Walmart moved in, so now we have about 6 days of food. But it's always good to know how to, know how to fish, hunt wild boar, pond koi. I see some Moorish idols. Triangular fish, large white and black stripes. It's got a long banner extending from its dorsal fin. That was Gil from Finding Nemo. And keep your eyes open also for some raccoon butterfly fish, yellow and black. It's got a mask over its face like a raccoon. And as we head out into deeper waters where the coral thins out, keep your eyes open for sea cucumber. They look like large slugs just laying in the sand. Also sea urchins. They look like little black spiky balls. Known as vana here in Hawaii. You definitely don't want to step on the vana. It is very painful.
This is cool.
This is very cool.
Yeah. Oh, my shot. He always has to take credit for everything.
Now, our Hawaiian waters are subtropical, about 75, 78 degrees all year round. And they're very dense. There's 2 to 3 pounds of salt per cubic foot of water. And this makes us very buoyant. If you notice, swimming in the ocean here versus swimming in a pool, you float very easily. And these dense waters also filter out the sunlight very efficiently. The first color to be absorbed and disappear around 20 feet is the color red. So if you wore anything red inside the submarine, it's turned into a nice lavender or purple. I think there was a young lady with a bright red dress that came onto the submarine. It should be like a deep purple right now or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I see her down there.
Now, wavelengths of light that do penetrate the water column with some ease is ultraviolet light. So fluorescent colors and yellows were really pop and glow down here. Another example of this fluorescent lighting is if you stick your head close to the viewport, smile nice and wide, your teeth should be glowing yellow.